Welcome to Take 5 for Torah. Today is Friday, August 1st, and that means that we are going to discuss the Haftorah. Today is called Shabbos Chazon. We already spoke a little about that on Wednesday, so I'm going to get right into a question on the Haftorah where there is a line that speaks of Hashiva Shoftenu Kivarishona V'yoatzenu Kivatchila. Now, I've sort of paraphrased the verse in Yeshayahu to what we say in our daily Amidah. Right? There he says, Hashiva Shoftayich Kivarishona V'yoatzayich Kivatchila. But there's no doubt that our Shemona Esrei certainly quoted directly from Yeshayahu. There's a question about this. This seems to be taken from a quote from the Torah. The Torah says we should have shoftim v'shotrim titein lecha. We shall have judges and bailiffs that we should appoint to make sure that the people appreciate their connection to the law. We need the shofet to determine where the case is going, and we need the shoter, the bailiff, to assure that the people who came for their court case accept the verdict. But Yeshayahu changes that. Yeshayahu should have said, "V'ashiva shoftayich kivarishana, v'shotrayich kivatchila." We should say in Shemona Esrei, Hashiva shoftenu kivarishana, v'shotrenu kivatchila. So why do we change this nusach? And perhaps it's one and the same with the message Yeshayahu is giving us, is that we're hoping to move away from our sorry state that is leading to this Churban. We're hoping to learn the lessons of the prophets and not even need a shoter to assure that the shofet's words are heeded. We're not going to need the bailiff. It'll just be enough to have a yoetz. You can just have the shofet and the yoetz. Maybe that's why a little later in the book, Yeshayahu refers to the messianic figure as a pele yoetz. Rashi insists, as does Ibn Ezra, that it's a reference to Chizkiyahu. In Divrei Yamim it says, V'yivaetz hamelech Chizkiyahu. Best thing is to be a yoetz. Now, you don't have to be a shoter and stand over someone with an implement of assuring the people will listen, like a whip or something, right? So the yoetz just stands with the truth of his tongue lashing, if you will. He doesn't have to give a lash with a whip. He could just speak with his tongue and the people will listen because he knows what good eitzah is. And that explains Yeshayahu, why he changed the word from shoter to yoetz, and it also explains our Shemona Esrei. And at the end of the Haftorah, he tells us the secret of our redemption. Tzion b'mishpat tipodeh v'shaveha b'tzedakah. Tzion shall be redeemed when they turn towards Mishpat. And Yeshayahu in the very next chapter refers to a universal idea of justice that all the nations of the world can buy into. And they shall stream to Jerusalem and say, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah dvar Hashem Yerushalayim. The Haftorah does not extend this far, of course, but it is the message that Yeshayahu wants to impart, as he says that our redemption shall come with mishpat, v'shaveha b'tzedakah, and they will all return when they accept and understand the value of charitable deeds. There's an amazing gematria I'd like to share, is that Yeshayahu refers to the idea of our exile. We couldn't fathom such a thing after being in our land for over 400 years, over 800 years. And how could we fathom the idea of exile? And the Torah, of course, in the Tochach at the end of Vayikra and in Sefer Devarim, does indeed speak of the possibility of losing our land if we don't heed the word of God. But when we did indeed go into exile, Tzion b'mishpati padeh, we produced an amazing work called the Talmud Bavli, which is the source of all of our halacha. Every bit of our philosophical workings comes from the Talmud Bavli, but also the Talmud Yerushalmi. Get this? Tzion b'mishpat tipodeh is exactly the gematria of Talmud Bavli. V'shaveha b'tzedakah is exactly the value of Talmud Yerushalmi. That cannot be a coincidence. But it means that all of the workings and all of the limudim and all the teachings that we have produced, even in our exile, is our secret to our return, and it's all wrapped up into mishpat and tzedakah.